Pretty nice. It's been pretty good.
I think this is a good time to talk to you about how difficult making movies is.
I'm just serving tartar sauce. Mostly it's just a slice of lemon. Tartar sauce.
So the guys, Nick and Eric, the two actors, they kiss a lot of girls in this movie. Literally, probably between them, they kissed 30 girls. And there was a time 3 weeks ago that they both got sick. And I figured it out on a piece of paper how they got sick, because there was one scene where they each kissed a girl, different girls, but those girls kissed each other. So you could watch it. So this girl was sick, she kissed Nick, then Nick kissed a girl, and then that girl kissed another girl who kissed Eric, and boom, they were both sick for 2 weeks.
There's some noise over here! Are you fired up? How do you spell fired up?
What differentiated this movie than other movies that I'd done prior to this, as far as preparation goes, is that I've never had to go through 3 weeks of cheer camp.
Are you here? Say goodbye. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The guys, when they're having to launch me in the air, they had to learn to do it exactly at the same time. Otherwise, I will shoot across the room, and Eric was very good at catching me. Nick once caught me with his face.
And the girls have to learn how to like be really taut. And she sort of gave up a little bit, and we sort of threw her wrong. And then I caught her on my face.
So you gotta risk it for the biscuit. And you gotta put it on the line. You gotta go big. You go big or you go home.
Zach Woodley, man, he is just an all-around good person.
Zach is an amazing guy, you know. I mean, he's really funny. He was hard on us, but he was also really candid and honest. He's like, look, if you don't want to look like an ass, let's practice a little bit harder.
And then this
He was very patient with those of us who were a few steps behind. I caught up, but see, the Tigers aren't supposed to be really good, so I just embraced the fact that I wasn't, and it worked.
Yeah!
This wrist has got something wrong with it. I've taken like 7 hits on the right side of my shoulder. That shot. Groin pull with gastrocnemius, my left calf. Ankle, rolled that. I mean, we're all train wrecks from a cheerleading movie.
It's a living. I don't know if it's much of one, but getting man-raped by John Michael Higgins day after day after day, it wears on your soul. And by soul, I mean spirit. And by spirit, I mean everything.
We practice a lot.
It's amazing what they've done. They take a lot of hits. 3 times on this movie, during a routine, one of the actors fell, got right back up, finished their cheer, and tears started streaming down their cheeks.
We left them right here. I know we left them right here. That's why I'm saying, where are our clothes? There's a rumor going around, and people like to say that in this movie there's a nude cheer. And I would like to say that that rumor is completely true.
Your counts are off, your spacing is insane, and your moves are sloppier than a kiss from a midshipman.
The first scene I shot in the movie was a night scene, which my character comes across the 2 main characters, Nick and Sean. After they've been skinny dipping, their clothes have been stolen.
Nick and I don't know, it wasn't in the script when we signed up for the movie, and then as soon as we finished our deals, they like wrote this scene where we're just running around with our wangs hanging out, doing cheers.
We have on the tightest skivvies. Like, I mean, it's flesh-colored thong type stuff, you know? I mean, and we're First of all, that night, too, we're streaking. We're doing like 200-yard sprints in that. And then Higgins comes, you know, and then Higgins walks up.
They didn't invite me to watch the nude pom-pom duet scene. I'm not angry.
Pom-poms are always funny, and watching it, I'm actually happy I wasn't there when they were taping it, because in rehearsal, I could not stop laughing. I could not. What did we want to eat? Panther meat.
I always tell actors when they do something well, they get more of it. So they did it so well, they said, okay, now we're going to double the length, which they were not happy to see. But they did it.
2 years ago, I was doing Shakespeare in the park. Now look what I've turned to.
It kind of got the ball really rolling. Like, in a way, I think it kind of fed what would later be all of the momentum that we kind of have held on throughout this shoot. That what we're doing is really funny, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. Because Eric and I had a lot of fun just being crazy.
Oh, there's a whole camera crew here. This is so what's going on? Who's that? Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Lawrence,
I'm actually very excited about this scene. I have 0 dialogue. What about accents? You like Aussies?
Totally, dude.
What about accents? You like
At one
Aussies?
point I drank-
You want to weigh more leather eggs?
The guys have definitely been showing different body parts. I think they kind of get the feeling that what we go through in our mind, I'm like, because you know they'll be doing push-ups, you know.
Oh! Misjudged to death! It's all good! Learn from me!
And then I'd say about a full week in this movie is all night in about 60 to 70 degree water.
I went to Will, again, I went to Will, I said, Will, beautiful women in their underwear, outnumbering all of the guys. I won't do it. I won't stay like this constantly next to them for hours and hours and hours. I won't. But I did. I sucked it up, and I feel pretty good about it. I'm proud of my performance.
The only reason why they didn't complain the entire time is, again, they were with girls who are also in 60 to 70 degree water, and they also were scantily clad, so they made their own heat.
Their job is to go to work and dance and hang out with women, and they're all like, I don't know what to say. It's all a dream.
The forbidden move for that year. I guess every year, and it's like this in real cheer tournaments, but there's always one move that is the hardest and only the best teams try it, people try it. That is the Fountain of Troy.
The big routine we had to do at the very end, the hardest part is we had to talk during a lot of it.
I know it sucks. Don't let it distract you. We're gonna win this thing. Hey, we'll take that. Once you're inside of that, we can take forever.
But Margot says, are you sure? You should say fire within, right? Isn't that line?
Fountain of Troy is a move that is prohibidado.
I heard that there was this really hard move called the Fountain of Troy that some team did at the Worlds. Are we gonna learn how to do that?
Sure, I'll teach you how to do the Fountain of Troy. Then I'm gonna teach you how to put makeup on a bear.
It's a cheer move. Prohibidado. And as Coach Keith explains, he says that in Spanish to impress upon you just how exotic and not allowed it is, as only the Spanish can.
Prohibidado.
What?
Prohibidado.
You're not allowed to say the Fountain of Troy, but even if I tell you you're allowed to say the Fountain of Troy, you can say the Fountain of Troy. Say the Fountain of Troy.
Don't say Fountain of Troy! That's okay. I was just joking with you. You're doing an interview. If you want to say Fountain of Troy, you can say Fountain of Troy. Don't say Fountain of Troy! What's wrong with you? If we were being attacked by the Germans and you were a soldier and someone told you to say Fountain of Troy, go ahead, say Fountain of Troy. Don't! What are you thinking? That's what the Fountain of Troy is.
We've got two bases, and a girl does a cartwheel up, and we catch her by the legs and flip her up and put her up into a high prep. So she's standing like this with her legs out, and we're lifting her up. Then we have a girl come up the front, and she flips onto the shoulders of Nick. She flips onto the shoulders of Nick, and they stand up, and then she does a back flip. Oh, and he's up in a prep, so she does a front flip off, and then he does a back flip backwards off of the person's shoulders that he's on. And me and Danielle caught him. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about, and I'm in the movie.
Yeah, we know. Everyone knows.
We have in Fired Up the ugliest outfits I've ever seen. And I've never noticed as a guy outfits, like which they put me in clothes and I wear them. And I remember coming out of the trailer that day being like, what am I wearing? Like, what is this outfit? It's like velour, but then it's got like a tiger print, but it's like soft and furry, and you find yourself like in the middle of a conversation be like, yeah, no, so I was thinking for scene 3, I'm gonna go to craft service and grab you're just petting yourself for no reason. And then Romer always comes up and she's always petting me and like licking my shoulder. It gets weird.
The costumes are essential too. I mean, when you go to camp and there's all these girls, whether it's girls and boys, and they're on different teams, you really need to identify the teams.
We have our main team, the Tigers, and they had a sort of before and an after look, so that, you know, we started off and they're a little bit more like sort of antiquated and a little cute, still cute, always cute and sexy, but a little more antiquated, a little more old school, and then we sort of brought them into like the new age of modern cheer. We were producing so many pieces of clothing aside from the cheerleading uniforms. We also had at the cheer camp 10 different teams. In the end, I would say for this film, we have produced like 3,000, 4,000 costumes.
We're in the Los Angeles Arboretum out here in Arcadia, which is near Pasadena, and no one told us that this was a sanctuary for peacocks. And peacocks traditionally are these animals that one would think are very beautiful and spread their wings and like to stay away from human beings. That's the exact opposite. We have peacocks hanging out in craft service. We have peacocks hanging out by the set. We have peacocks walking into the trailers.
There is a gaggle, if you will, of peacocks that are always prancing around and showing their feathers and trying to hump the other peacocks. But one of their favorite things to do is wait until they say action. They go, my eye, my eye, my eye. Yeah, they just wait for the peacock. The thing that's important to understand, my eye. Wait for the peacock. No peacock. The thing that's, my eye. Cut. Like, I can't compete with these peacocks and their flustering feathers and their yawberries.
At first, you look at them and you go, the peacocks are very beautiful. What a mystery. What a magical creature. What an insane fan. Look at the dance they do. Why do I think of it now as a poultry product?
Action.
Different directors have as much of a different process as actors can have a different process from one another. And I think Will is so talented in working with an actor. He is your actor's director.
Really talented.
Is this good enough? Is this a nice angle for you? He's very sure of himself, which is very common with people who have no idea what they're doing.
I mean, he has a very clear vision of what he wants. I mean, this is material that he's very familiar with because he was, he wrote it with friends, with a group of his writing team.
Actually, it's been a pleasure working with Will because he really does know what he wants. And it's very unusual. Honestly, you work with a lot of directors who have no idea what's going on. Don't even know what the story is.
He just seems to have a good grounding in what's funny. Don't go over the top. Just stay right, where the reality is, and then just enhance it a little more. He's very calm. He knows exactly what his shots need to be. He sets them up and he shoots them, and we move on.
He and I jokingly give each other trouble all the time. But he will yell things in the middle of cheering, like all the time while we're working. He'll change things up and be like, oh, why don't you try and say it this way? And he'll say things that you have no idea what he's saying.
Start from, could you grab her, could you just carry her as if you're just
And then
caught
just
her.
drop her on the floor.
Exactly.
Okay, so I need you to go faster. Okay, not faster. That didn't work. Didn't go. Slower. I need you to go slower. The thing about this scene, okay, slower, but The thing about this scene is that it's a lot to process. The audience has a lot to process. You need to slow it down, but make it faster. If you could slow it down and make it faster, but I need you to go big in a small way. Can you make it smaller but bigger and faster and yet slower? Because there's a lot to Lawrence! Like it's a schizophrenic cluster Fraggle Rock.
Director Will Gluck, he's amazing, first of all, but he has quite a dirty mouth, as with everyone else on this movie.
When she auditioned, she has to say a couple bad words in the movie. During the audition, I said a bad word, and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
He said the F word, and I have this bad word jar type thing where I make money from bad language, $1 for every normal word, and for the F word, I cost $5, but the money goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So he said the F word, so I said in a kind of joking matter, I said, oh, you owe me $5.
So I gave her $5. She came back into audition again, and in the next audition, she had to say the S word in the audition. She said it, took out $1, and gave it to me.
We didn't order these. No Lesbotron, no Queer Leader, no Lesbos Island of Greece, no kidding. Wait, what? Just joking. Sorry.
Juliet plays Poppy, which is a 12-year-old who's literally Joe Pesci, who has got a guy. He's always got a guy. He's got this guy here. He's making some transitions here. He's selling broccoli on the side, taking you to the clinic, and she is amazing.
Fired Up has been a blast to work on. I made some really great friends. I think I'll be seeing a lot more of Margot and Haley. We kind of bonded a lot.
Oh, are you okay? The friendships that we formed, it was unlike any other set because we had to work so close together, and you had to trust that this actor that you just met was gonna catch you from really high in the air. And so we all bonded.
It's simplistic in the statement, but you have to have a foundation. Because if you don't have a foundation, you can't go big. And the great thing about Nick and I working together, and the Tigers in general, and Dan Nihal and Angela and Sarah, is that once you have that foundation, you can take those chances because you know if you fail, one of these guys is going to catch you and it's going to work.
Be serious!
No, you have to cross your eyes.
Yeah, whatever. Is that okay? Be serious!
It's hysterical.
Be serious! Whoa!
Margot!
Why?
We're very fortunate to have two leading men in Eric Christian Olsen and Nick DeGusto, who have unbelievable chemistry together. I mean, you come on the set and you can't believe these guys haven't been friends their whole lives. I mean, they have such camaraderie.
I'd just like to tell you that the last take, where we blew through about 15 grand of film was all my fault.
When I think back to filming this, I'm gonna remember a lot of laughter. F you, pom-pom.